Storm Isha is doing extraordinary damage and demonstrating that there is no question that we have a climate change crisis, and this is causing havoc on our railways. The pictures that are coming back of storm damage make even a John Martin painting look rather tame. John Martin was the great Victorian painter who painted these amazingly apocalyptic landscapes. And I think we're rapidly coming to a point where we're moving beyond Turner into John Martin territory. And I referenced the Victorians with good reason. It was the great Victoria, that great woman, that great protectress, who in the 1850s was in charge of our country as we developed the railway system. And the railway system hasn't really been changed significantly since that time. And the fact that there hasn't been proper investment and proper care of the system means it's extraordinarily vulnerable. It's a very fragile system. It's extraordinarily open to the attack by the elements, to the attack by climate change. And we're going to end up, it's not going to be Mick Lynch who brings the railways grindingly to a halt. It's going to be climate change. It's going to be a tree falling. It's going to be embankments washed away. It's going to be the effect of climate change, the effect of weather, the effect of God. And in this particular case, the effect of storm Isha, with storm Jocelyn in the Atlantic, ready to hit land nightfall today. And Storm Isha, named, if you follow the BBC, from the Hindi name, one of the names for Shiva, the protectress, the ruler, opposite. But actually, this name has another older etymology in Hebrew, because if the name for Adam, if the name for man is Ish, Atah Ha'ish, the prophet tells David after telling him the story about the man who steals his little goat, and David says, "Oh, that man deserves to die." And the prophet turns to David and says, and Nathan turns to David and says, "Atah Ha'ish, you are the man." It's not it's not greatly valued at that particular point, I think. But Ish is the masculine, and Isha is the feminine. So Isha, one of the oldest titles, one of the oldest names, one of the oldest definitions in religious thought in history, really. So this is the vengeful feminine storm, which is attacking our country, and it's simply doing what storms do. And we are unprepared for it. We are utterly unprepared because we're looking the other way, and Network Rail is so busy lining its own pockets and not thinking either of its workers or of the infrastructure. State-owned body that has admitted it's impossible to protect all of UK's 20,000 miles of track. Why? Why is that impossible? We know where those miles of track are. Why don't we start investing some of the money that we're getting in profit, Network Rail, start investing it and make sure that that the system that we've got is safe. There's no point in building HS2 if the original railways decay because you've not paid attention, because your eye is off the ball. So this is it seems to me to be wrong to be relying on the on the foundations and on the structure that was set up in the Victorian era, to be relying on Queen Victoria and just assuming that lady will protect us, that ruler will save us. No. With a flick of the wrist, Shiva can save or destroy. And Isha, the original woman, Lucy, the original woman. You know, it's something to celebrate, but it's a force of nature, and you ignore you ignore it at your peril. A woman scorned, and that is Isha. Um, and the absurdity of HS2 carving through the land, destroying people's businesses, farms, homes, to cut 20 minutes off a journey from London to Birmingham. This is a nonsense, and such a difference to the bygone world of the Victorian railway designers, who built such a solid structure that actually it is likely to withstand the effects of climate change, but it needs help. And that help isn't forthcoming. That help has been diverted to the spiraling costs of HS2 and geotechnical nonsense under Nick Sartain, and it's all it's all about capital costs and a desperation to claw on to savings there, and at the same time to line the pockets of Network Rail, and to resist the strikes. I say it's not going to be the strikes which are going to bring the rail system to a halt. It's going to be climate change and nature, and the fact that we are relying on a Victorian queen empress who is long since gone, and we should be more aware of the rage of Shiva, the rage of Isha, the frustration of a woman scorned and ignored, and yeah, welcome to John Martin territory. Welcome to the apocalypse.